Coco Gauff in the headlines last week, and for very good reason, as she and 11 other women were named as the 12 Women of the Year by Time magazine. An incredible honor for Gauff to be a part of that.
Coco Gauff was included in Time magazine's recent Women of the Year list. Out of the 12 exceptional women honored for making the world a more equal place, she is the only athlete. At the age of barely 19, Gauff received this honor. But this is what everyone was discussing. Aryna Sabalenka's response was completely insane. Since the announcement, many have been expressing their jealousy on social media. Do you believe Sabalenka was duped, or did Coco Gauff deserve this honor over other tennis players? Tell me in the comments.
Good evening. Being here tonight and standing in front of all of you is an incredible honor. The women in this room are my role models, and for me to be asked to share a few words with you, that's crazy. Seriously. When I started playing tennis at the age of 6, my dad, who's here with me tonight, told me, "You can change the world with your racket," and I believed him. I believed him because the women in my life and the women in this room who showed me that a little girl with big dreams can go on to do great things. My grandmother, Yvonne, was the first Black woman to integrate the Delray Beach school system, has encouraged me to use my platform for positive change and to never underestimate the impact of my voice.
Time magazine doesn't merely give praise to people. This isn't an instance of a participation trophy. 12 women were specifically chosen by the publication as exceptional leaders striving for greater equality in the world. These ladies are the epitome of success in a variety of fields and industries. They're change makers. They're folks actively reshaping society and culture. The bar for making this list is very high. When Time released their selections, they featured some absolutely heavyweight names. As an actress and filmmaker who has radically altered Hollywood's approach to narrative, Greta Gerwig made the list. Claudia Golden, a Nobel laureate, is acknowledged for her innovative contributions to economic study. Singer Andre Day represents the artistic community. Jackie Patterson, a climate activist, addresses the environmental cause. These individuals are not at random. These are people that have proven to be exceptional and influential in their industries. Coco Gauff is another. At 19 years old, she's the only athlete on the entire list. That is important. Think about that for a second. In a world with hundreds of thousands of professional athletes competing at the highest levels, Time selected exactly one athlete to be recognized as a Woman of the Year. Coco Gauff was their choice. It's a big thing. That's recognition of something extraordinary that transcends far beyond tennis performance. Tell me about your tennis goals.
Tell me about your ambitions in tennis.
What do you mean?
Anything, just don't tell me.
Coco Gauff.
That I just can't trust. You told me to stop, but I keep on.
Match point.
Told me to stop, but I keep on going, keep on going. Never stop.
Get up, Coco Gauff. You've just won the US Open.
There are several reasons why Gauff is on this list. Indeed, she is a fantastic tennis player. One of the 4 Grand Slam events, the US Open, was won by her. She has participated in Olympic competitions. She has made a name for herself as one of the top players in professional tennis. However, Time's appreciation extends beyond her tennis accomplishments. Time identified something in Gauff that transcends sport, her potential as a leader and changemaker. Gauff gave a wonderfully realistic and grounded reaction when asked about the honor. She remarked about not really caring about the gloss and glamour that comes with accomplishment. That's a refreshingly honest take from someone who could easily lean into celebrity status and commercial opportunity. Rather, Gauff concentrated on what truly motivates her, winning significant awards and changing the world in real ways. That's the kind of perspective that connects with Time's idea for Women of the Year. Gauff acknowledged turning 20 shortly and spoke about embracing adulthood and the adjustments that come with it. She recognized that the world requires constant improvement and expressed optimism that she could play some part in that process. This is a teenager talking on responsibility, growth, and contribution to society. This is exactly the kind of perspective that would appeal to a prestigious publication like Time when identifying women deserving of their notice. The statement was made at the same time when Gauff won a WTA 1000 competition in Dubai. She overcame a challenging situation to defeat Carolina in 3 sets. Immediately after her victory, Gauff learned about her Time magazine recognition and reacted with genuine excitement and thanks. Her remarks on the court showed that she is focused and grateful. She expressed her gratitude and her anticipation of going to the March ceremony, where she would be acknowledged among the other honorees. When Gauff said, "This would be one of the rare times I get dressed up, not in this match stuff," it was clear how humble she was. Here's a 19-year-old who's done what most athletes dream about, and she's making light jokes about having to wear formal clothing. That's the kind of relatability that makes someone genuinely impressive. Despite her huge successes, she doesn't take herself too seriously. Now, let's talk about what happened when other players in tennis learnt out about Gauff's recognition. Aryna Sabalenka's reaction has become the subject of considerable scrutiny and social media discussion. Anyone following tennis on social media in recent weeks has been unable to ignore the jealousy and animosity. In her own right, Sabalenka is a fantastic tennis player. She has won important competitions. She's reached the upper echelons of professional tennis. She is driven, talented, and competitive. But Sabalenka's reaction to Gauff's Time magazine honor indicates something about her character that isn't particularly flattering. Instead of enjoying a fellow athlete's accomplishment, Sabalenka appears to have taken it personally. The pattern of Sabalenka's behavior indicates evident indicators of jealousy that have been simmering beneath the surface. She has previously harbored anger at Gauff's growing prominence in tennis and other sports. Sabalenka seems unable to compartmentalize her sentiments about someone else obtaining accolades that she presumably feels she deserves. Sabalenka's posts on social media have grown more acerbic and passive-aggressive. She started highlighting her own successes in ways that feel defensive rather than celebratory. She has subtly criticized the recognition systems that give preference to some players over others. She's questioned the criteria that led to Gauff's selection. None of it comes out as genuine concern for fairness. It all reads as jealousy from someone who feels overlooked. Sabalenka's response is very notable since it shows how she interprets this appreciation. It's obvious that Sabalenka believes she should have received the Time magazine award. She believes her accomplishments, her competitiveness, her performance on the court should have qualified her for this recognition. The fact that Time chose golf instead is upsetting her deeply. But here's the fact that Sabalenka might not want to acknowledge. Women weren't chosen only on the basis of their tennis skills. They were honoring women they saw as exceptional leaders striving for greater equality. They were looking past victories and defeats. They were assessing wider influence and impact. By those criteria, Gauff's selection makes total sense. Gauff's impact extends well beyond tennis courts. She promotes social justice by using her position. She expresses her opinions on matters that are important to her. She participates in causes and communities that go much beyond professional athletics. She considers her responsibilities as a powerful public person. When choosing Women of the Year, Time magazine would be drawn to these attributes. Sabalenka's performances on the tennis court are actually astounding. Her brilliance and fierce competitiveness are undeniable. However, the question arises as to whether she is using her platform in a manner similar to that of Gauff, whether she is addressing societal concerns, and whether she is establishing herself as a leader outside of tennis. The answer to those questions presumably explains why Time selected Gauff instead of Sabalenka. The jealousy Sabalenka is expressing is also rooted in age and professional trajectory. Gauff, who is 19 years old and still very young, has been named a Woman of the Year by Time. This indicates that Gauff's impact and influence are already being felt globally. This implies that she probably still has the best ahead of her. Observing a teenager earn praise from time to time must be painful for Sabalenka, who has spent her entire career striving for achievement and recognition. Sabalenka's social media involvement has included posting about her own major tournament wins and accomplishments. She has started emphasizing her business partnerships and naming big brands in ways that seem forced. She is ensuring that people are aware of her sponsorships and endorsements. It's clear compensation for the acknowledgement she didn't get over time. It's an effort to remind others that she is important, successful, and deserving of praise. The jealousy is evident in the comments on Sabalenka's most recent posts. Her tone has changed, and people are noticing it. Her usual confidence comes out as defensive now. Her accomplishments are being presented as rebuttals to Gauff's recognition rather than celebrations of her own achievements. That is the issue with jealousy. It poisons everything it touches, including the accomplishments you should be proud of. The fact that Sabalenka could have reacted to Gauff's Time magazine honor with poise and dignity is very intriguing. She had the option to publicly congratulate Gauff. She may have accepted that there is ample room for several players to be honored and that acknowledgement from prominent magazines can take many different forms. Rather, she opted to convey her bitterness and envy. That choice speaks something about her character and outlook. The tennis community has noted Sabalenka's behavior. Other players have made private remarks on Sabalenka's handling of circumstances in which other players are honored or recognized. There is consistency in the pattern. Sabalenka struggles when the spotlight changes away from her. She struggles when other players achieve accomplishments she also wants for herself. This is a flaw that might affect both her long-term success and how her peers in the media see her. Gauff is likely feeling validated by this event. She's receiving recognition not just for her tennis talent, but for her greater effect as a leader and change builder. She's being seen and appreciated for who she is beyond the sport. That recognition at the age of 19 is impressive and illustrates her current trajectory. The fact that it's eliciting jealousy from other players surely only emphasizes that Gauff is doing something exceptional. Gauff is on a different level than the majority of tennis players her age thanks to the Time magazine award. She's no longer just known as a talented athlete. She's now recognized by one of the world's most prestigious newspapers as a woman worthy of being in conversation with Nobel laureates. Her priorities are evident when she doesn't care about the flash and glamour and instead concentrates on winning significant awards. She is not pursuing celebrity for its own sake. She's focused on achievement, on winning, on making tangible differences. That perspective is what presumably appealed to Time's editors. They are able to identify someone who is motivated more by substance than by fame. It's interesting to see the wider discussion this scenario is sparking in tennis. It's generating issues about what gets recognized and appreciated in professional sports. It asks whether a player's value can be determined solely by their physical accomplishments or if other aspects should be taken into account. It's questioning whether certain players receive more media attention and recognition than they deserve while others remain underappreciated. Sabalenka could take this period as an opportunity for self-reflection. She may consider what adjustments she might need to make in order to connect her platform usage and public persona with the kind of activism and leadership that groups like Time value. She could use this as inspiration to broaden her impact beyond tennis. Or she could continue down the path of envy and resentment which won't assist her case or her reputation. In actuality, Time's acknowledgement of Gauff is valid and well-deserved in light of their specified standards. Gauff is a remarkable leader striving for global equality. She is making responsible use of her platform. She's engaging with important societal concerns. She is presenting herself as someone who is interested in more than simply winning tennis matches. She was added to the list because of that. Although it makes sense from a competitive standpoint, Sabalenka's jealousy is misplaced. Instead of resenting Gauff's attention, Sabalenka could be inspired by it. She might see that there are chances to leave a legacy that goes beyond her achievements in tennis. She could use her platform to make tangible differences in the world. She might present herself as a leader and promote things that are important to her. That's what would genuinely gain her similar recognition. For the time being, however, Sabalenka's social media presence indicates that she is experiencing envy. Her posts are overt attempts to remind everyone that she is important, successful, and deserving of praise. The desperation underpinning those posts is palpable. And she is probably more troubled by that desperation than by Gauff's Time magazine notoriety. There is a clear difference in how Sabalenka and Gauff handled this circumstance. Gauff was kind, appreciative, and thoughtful about the wider ramifications of winning the title of Lady of the Year. Sabalenka's been jealous, bitter, and focused on reminding people of her own accomplishments. One strategy fosters respect and character. The other erudice both. Something significant is demonstrated by Aryna Sabalenka's jealousy of Coco Gauff's Time magazine award. Tennis statistics and tournament victories are just two aspects of recognition from prominent magazines. It has to do with vision, leadership, and influence. Gauff is more than simply a player, thus she deserves that position. Sabalenka's bitterness just serves to emphasize what she lacks. What steps should Sabalenka take, in your opinion, to get comparable recognition? Leave a comment with your ideas. For more on this, like and subscribe.